a lot of me, to some extent, emotionally, I wouldn't say as a type, in both son and father. I think that I love America. I've spent many years in America, and I think to some extent, like Moshe, even though I never had this kind of situation of abandoning a child, but I think this feeling of getting away from it all and trying to live a life in a place where you were not forced by birth to be in, but where you have kind of an opportunity to be whoever you want to be, is something that I very much share, and I think that, or share the different periods, and I think that the yearning that Tzaf has, the son, and also the anger, some of the anger that he had, is also feelings that I had both for my father, because I didn't see him all that much, and I felt that, he was always this person who was very much, like, the people loved him, everybody felt he was their mayor, their this, their that, and I felt like he was less my father than their all kinds of things. But at the same time, I felt a great deal of closeness to him in many ways, and a great deal of love for him. So it was a mixture, a mixed kind of feelings. And I felt, since this was a movie that I made about a father-son relationship, which clearly comes from my relationship with him, I very much wanted to dedicate it to him, particularly as he died actually just before we started shooting. Frankly, I would say that Israel has not disappointed me at all, and it has not, and I'm not sure if it has disappointed the world or not, because that's I don't know if the world has particularly expected anything from Israel except for the Jews. I think that Israel, despite the fact that this movie moves so much around criticism, particularly through Moshe, I actually think that I truly think that Israel is a miracle. I think Israel is one of the greatest miracles probably of the last century or so. And I think that a lot of what happens is that we I mean Israelis, tend to have such high expectations from ourselves that we always feel, well, we could be better at this and we could be better at that and all of that. So maybe contrary a little bit to what some of what the movie says, I think Israel is a terrific place. There's certain things that are actually not expressed in this film so much that I don't like, which is the political system, which makes it quite impossible to have like a real government that can govern. And I think that the whole conflict with the Arabs, I always feel, I don't know, I may sound like a village idiot, but I thought like, but this I feel about all wars, like people just, even the way where we're now, just put down their arms and say, okay, it doesn't matter. We have this, or we have that, and we don't have this part, and they don't have that part, and we just like, from now on, live in peace. That would be a great thing. I don't see where anybody can get hurt by that. So, but that somehow doesn't seem to be the reality. And I'm gonna let Mr. Ivgy, who's smarter than me, say whatever.
I just feel this contradiction that we have in this country about everything, especially about politics. And I think the character Moshe is mainly feel frustrated. The potential of this country, of this region, of this area to be something else, and on the other hand, the people just ruining from both sides. So you live in this frustration, you live in this contradiction, and he just ran away from all that. And when you are in the diaspora, you maybe feel it even, you feel it double, you feel worse about it, because you want things to change, because you are not close to the things, and you feel you want things to be maybe the way you feel about it, the way you think about it. And I think that's how Moshe lives his life, in this contradiction about everything in his life, and especially about the state of Israel, and what it could be, and what happened to it. So that's what he says in the end, this is maybe place that could be a bit better, but where else we could be rather than Jerusalem and Israel, so he actually misses Israel. All this time in the diaspora, he misses Israel. He can't go back to Israel because he feels a failure. And he feels that maybe the country let him down as well, you know. Maybe it's part, he blames maybe part of the way this country goes, all the governments through all the years of the existence of Israel. They made all the mistakes to put us in this situation now. So he blames everybody, but in the end, he really misses the place. And he loves Israel, and he loves the people, and he connected to the Israelis in Europe. So he just lives in this kind of world, contradiction. He fights to hold things, you know, to possess things, which belong to no one really. You know, in the meantime, we kill each other for something, so we die and the war stays there. So the most important thing is to live your life and to be able to give up and to be able just to visit each other and to mix into each other and just to be wherever you want without possessing it. So if we could do that, if we could give up here and give up there, both sides, it could be easier. You know, if you could see it not as important as we see it now. If you could appreciate life more than that. Yes, value life. So maybe it could be better. But I think we don't value life really. So we go from one revenge to the other. And in order to get something, we lose everything. So that's the meaning of that in the end.
The last question, please.
Amos wrote the script, the way we started it, he had in mind that I'm going to do this role. So that's why we were left with the name Moshe in the movie, because he wrote it as a reference, but we got stuck with it because we got used to it. So we didn't change it. It was very convenient for us. So I think we started with some idea when he started to write the script. And I was amazed because we were thinking about doing a movie about somebody who tried to survive in New York. And when we came up with the first draft, Amos, I was really shocked and so moved because he took this basic idea of somebody who's trying to survive and he made it into an amazing story about somebody he failed in his life and about all the relationship with his son that's reflected on the relationship that he's got in Israel, with Israel, and with his country, with his family, with everybody. So I think I'm not frustrated like Moshe in the movie, but in terms of what I would expect from my country to be nowadays, I would expect for more. Yes, I would expect for much more than just trying to survive still in this country and not going one big step forward between us and the Arabs and the Palestinians and do something really big, really something that say something about us as human beings, as you know, because we could go forward, we could give up on all these primitive ideas that we have now. And so Moshe is frustrated, and I am frustrated as a citizen of Israel. But on the other hand, the situation is so complicated that they can understand it as well. Maybe we don't have on both sides, not the Palestinians and not the Israelis, the right man. We don't have the wisdom, we don't have the right people to lead us into this direction. But maybe in the whole world, we don't have these people to lead us to a new era, to the future of the human being that we could have.